Welcome, homies, compadres, and amigos, one and all. Thank you for tuning in. This is Real Deal, the entertainment news show where we talk about all the crazy stuff that happened during the week. My name is Andrew Fantasia, and as always, if you enjoy this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and give some love to that subscribe button as well. First item today, we got a new trailer that dropped, and it is pretty damn nice. It's the trailer for Creed 2. Now, Creed 1 is one of my favorite sports movies of all time. It was one of the best movies of 2015. That was just all around a gosh darn sexy movie. I love Creed. That's the bottom line. Creed 2 is coming out. It's different director this time, different feel, but the trailer looks like it's a lot more of the same. You know, lots of little quick images of Adonis Creed training away and punching things. He's even punching things underwater. Do you know how strong you have to be to punch things underwater? Like, I can't even punch a thing in my natural habitat. That is insanity. Regardless, this was very much a teaser trailer. I mean, we got just little glimpses of training, little glimpses of Rocky, little glimpses of Adonis, little glimpses of Bianca. It looks like there's a baby in the mix now. I don't know if that's Adonis's baby. I don't know how much time has passed. That's kind of neat if they've already got a kid. But then we got, you know, the main event, the big push at the end of this whole teaser was the opponent. We don't see his face too well, but he turns around and on the back we can see clearly he's wearing a red cape and it says Drago on the back. Victor Drago is going to be our antagonist in this movie, the son of Ivan Drago, and of course we're all waiting to see what happens when Ivan and Rocky meet for the first time since 1984, and when Adonis comes face to face with the man who killed his father. That's going to be legit. Other than that, not too much was revealed in this trailer, but as far as teasers go, I can't complain. This got me back in the Rocky/Creed spirit, so consider me on board. And thank you so much, Hollywood gods, for using the Roman numeral 2. I can't tell you how much I friggin' miss Roman numerals. Welcome back, guys. If you were a fan of Lost or Fringe, you probably know the name Alex Kurtzman. Well, Alex Kurtzman is about to get a lot more familiar with Star Trek fans. Kurtzman was already overseeing the Star Trek movies, the new ones at least, and he is the new showrunner on Star Trek Discovery. Well, turns out he has just signed a 5-year deal that involves, according to rumor, 4 different Star Trek TV series, and he's going to oversee them all. It's like a Star Trek TV universe, and Kurtzman is going to be the god behind all that. I'm not a huge Trek guy myself. I enjoyed some of the old movies quite a bit. I enjoyed the new movies even more. I've seen 2 episodes of the original series and 1 episode of Next Generation. Like, the TV shows I haven't really dived into at all, but I know there are lots of Trek folks out there who must be really excited for this news. And if you're one of them, I'm jealous of how excited you are right now, because the prospect of a Star Trek television universe really coming together, I think that makes a whole lot of sense to me. And again, I'm not a pro at this, I don't know for sure, but from what I gather, all the Star Trek shows so far have taken place in different time periods. But I like the idea of, you know, the Federation it doesn't just have the Enterprise, it has quite a few other ships out in space. So what if, you know, you have your story where here's the Enterprise on this one show, and on this other show, here's the USS Scarabush. And the USS Scarabush has its own adventures, and every once in a while, they cross over and have an Enterprise/Scarabush adventure, and it's really cool. It's like how Buffy and Angel were in separate cities, but then sometimes they met up and their characters switched over. You see where I'm going with this? I wish I was a Star Trek fan now. Y'all are lucky. Apparently, there are exactly 1 billion movies coming out about this guy. Yeah, for some reason, DC is pulling out all the stops with the Joker. They just want to give us more Joker. I know a lot of people are fine with that. Personally, I think he's kind of overrated, and by kind of, I mean a lot, and by overrated, I mean overrated. I want to see some new blood in the Batman villain pantheon now. I want to see another Penguin. I want to see a Riddler done right. I want to see the ventriloquist and Scarface in a movie, because that shit is dark. I've just had enough of Joker. I have. But apparently the folks at Warner Brothers have not, because we're getting a Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, and apparently a Jared Leto Joker movie. Now, the Jared Leto one is obviously sounds like it's going to take place in the DCEU, whereas the Joaquin Phoenix one is apparently not taking place in the DCEU, but reports are saying that it's taking place in the same universe as the Matt Reeves The Batman movie. But that movie is the DCEU. I'm so confused. Oh my god. I don't know why it's so hard for DC to just make movies. I don't know why it's so hard. I don't know why they have so much trouble, deciding let's start here and end here and have 5 movies to get to that point. So far, I mean, they've been trying to do that. I like what they have so far. I don't love it, but I like it. But the idea of getting all these different things now, I get what they're going for. Comics have Elseworlds, comics have parallel universes, and that is DC's strength. That is personally what I feel. If I was running the show at DC, I would play to that strength, because what DC has that Marvel doesn't is the whole Infinite Earths thing, the whole multiverse. So I would play with that. But it doesn't sound like they're going to play with it. It sounds like they're just making a Joker movie that exists unto itself, and then another Joker movie that exists unto the universe. And they're not going to mention multiversities and Elseworlds and all that stuff. And they should. That would be very cool. That would be a smart move, because that's DC's ace up their sleeve. But it doesn't sound like they're going to. I don't know. I really don't care about the Joker. Give me Riddler. Give me Ventriloquist. Give me Penguin. Give me Poison Ivy. Give me a good Poison Ivy. I've just had enough of clowns, man. It's like everybody at Warner Brothers is Harley Quinn. They just can't stop talking about Joker. It's like, get a room, you two. Now, a lot of people, when they talk about celebrities, just people in the entertainment industry, they always bring up like, oh, did you know that he's married to her? And did you know that she had a kid with him? And my answer is always, I don't care who they're sleeping with. All I care about is what content they're making. So I don't have my finger on the pulse when it comes to these things. And I also don't have my finger on the pulse when it comes to the whole sexual harassment allegation things, unless they're, really shoved forward in the limelight like Weinstein was. And I learned of one just last night when I was researching for this episode that really hit close to home and made me sad. And that was John Lasseter. John Lasseter was the man behind Toy Story. He pretty much kickstarted Pixar to where it is now, and he was chief creative officer of Disney and Pixar for a little while now. He has been the man when it comes to those two studios. Last year, there were allegations of sexual assault aimed at Mr. Lasseter, and so he is stepping down at the end of 2018, and he will no longer be chief creative officer of Disney Animation or Pixar. And that made me sad, because that's, one of my heroes. That's one of my guys who really made pieces of my childhood that meant a lot. But the good news is we are getting strong replacements. Jennifer Lee will become the CCO of Disney Animation, while Pixar's new CCO is going to be Pete Docter. And if you're a big Pixar fan like me, then Pete Docter is another name like John Lasseter that will instantly be recognizable to you. Pete Docter was all over this shit. So hopefully these two talented, creative people can usher in lots more exciting years to come for both Disney Animation and Pixar. It's just sad that it had to happen under these circumstances. So I wish both of those folks the best of luck. Hello, what have we here? That's what I'm going to say if Lando shows up in episode 9, because apparently that might happen. It's been reported that Billy D. Williams, who is I think 81 years old at this point, he's not a spring chicken anymore. He's not even an autumn chicken. He has made some statements to the press recently saying that he is undergoing a very strict training regimen at the moment. He's getting into shape. But he did not say for what. Now, this could simply mean, hey, I'm a man in my 80s. I want to be a man in my 90s one day. Let me get into shape and start eating healthy and take care of my body because I'm in my twilight years. Or it could mean something even more exciting. It could mean that we will see Mr. Lando Calrissian in Star Wars Episode 9. This isn't just like a fan's fantasy. Like, there's a lot of signs pointing to yes. I mean, first of all, who was the breakout character that everybody unanimously loved about Solo? Lando. Regardless of what you thought of the movie, everybody was down with Donald as Mr. Lando Calrissian. Also, in episode 9, we won't have Han. If we have Luke, he'll be a ghost and probably just a cameo. And Leia, God, that is like Sherlock Holmes couldn't crack what the hell is going to happen with Leia at this point. Who knows? A familiar face would be a very welcome thing. And who better to show up, pat us on the back, give us a $50 bill and some candy and tell us everything's going to be okay than dear old Uncle Lando. And he is literally, well, figuratively, Uncle Lando to the film's main antagonist, Kylo Ren. He knew Kylo Ren as a baby. He's basically that kid's godfather, I think, if godfathers are a thing in this galaxy. So I would not be surprised to see him show up. I am, however, curbing my enthusiasm here. I think if he does show up, it's going to be in a very cameo sense. You know, we're just going to see him sit behind a desk and he's going to stand up and have like a cane or something and be like, well, looks like you need my help after all. Here's a data file for this planet that you're going to go to, and I helped you now. Here's some credits. I'll see you later. This deal's getting worse all the time. You know, that's the extent. Like, we'll see as much of him in this as we saw of, like, Maz Kanata in Episode 8. That's what I'm thinking. Because this already is going to be a jam-packed movie as it is. I imagine, after everything that's happened so far, how do you wrap up 9 movies in 2.5 hours? And the answer is either have it be the most loaded 2.5 hours in history, or you have it be 3.5 hours. I'd be okay with that. Either way, this is going to be the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate of Star Wars movies. Everything is going to be in it. I can feel that in my bones. So I am willing to put good money down that we will see Lando. I'm just not willing to say it's going to be in anything too significant. He's going to be there for a while, and then we're going to move on, and that'll be that. One of the smartest things that Lego ever did was licensing rights. Once Lego got a licensing deal going with Star Wars, all of a sudden, Lego Star Wars was everywhere. Lego Star Wars is like its own thing. Like, there's Star Wars, and then there's Lego Star Wars. There are Lego Star Wars TV shows. I think since like 2012, there have been more Lego Star Wars video games than there have been actual Star Wars video games. Lego Star Wars is a whole empire. It really is. And of course, they did not draw the line at Star Wars. They were smart. They have Lego Harry Potter. They have Lego Simpsons, which I don't even like buying Lego, but I really want that Lego Simpsons house. They have Lego Lord of the Rings. They have Lego Jurassic Park. They probably have Lego The Room somewhere. Please, God, let that be a thing. But it looks like we're getting one of the most exciting new Lego licenses ever. According to some very cryptic tweets made by the Lego Twitter account, the toy company is slated to begin a licensing deal with this guy. Like I said, it was a very cryptic tweet. They talked about secret service. They talked about license to build with a question mark. And they dropped a mention of an Aston Martin. But nothing was really spelled out until the James Bond Twitter account replied with what I think is the most brilliant reply you could possibly make to something like this, where they simply said, license to build is authorized. If we get a James Bond Lego license, I'm going to pee my pants, first of all. Second of all, there have been a few decent James Bond video games. GoldenEye was very classic fun. It's known more for its multiplayer, though, than it is for its story. And the other games we've gotten have been just sort of random, Nightfire, things like that. Things that aren't really based off anything. It's just like, here's a James Bond adventure. Go, have fun. And they're not really all that great. What we've never really had before is a great James Bond video game. Like a solid game that follows the stories from the movies. If this licensing deal is an indication that we're going to get a Lego James Bond video game where you play through the movies, I'm done. Take all my money. Here we go. I'm good. I'm good forever. I can't even talk. This is so exciting. It's probably going to take a little while to get off the ground. Who knows? Maybe by next winter, when the next James Bond comes out, they can bundle this news all together in one big package and have James Bond Lego sets. Again, I don't buy Lego. Never been a Lego guy. I like the games though. But if I have a chance to buy like a little Lego Sean Connery tied up to a table while a Lego Gert Frobe is like pointing a laser at, oh my god, the possibilities here. There's literally 24 movies. Yes. 150 different kinds of yes. And if I can unlock and play as a Lego version of Ernst Stavro Blofeld, the Donald Pleasance version, you will never meet a happier man. Just saying. That's Real Deal this week, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. It was a crazy week, chock full of news. And sorry for the gap in weeks. I had a little bit of technical trouble. That's why there was no Real Deal last week. But hopefully, those woes are in our past. I'll see you next time. Until then, adios.